This is the IST Health Tip of the Day. I'm your host, Roberto Parker. This podcast, we tackle the tough questions related to exercise, training for athletes, human performance, biochemical, biomechanical dysfunctions, problems that sometimes you have questions about that you don't quite know the answer to. So stay tuned, enjoy, take good notes, and God bless. What's up, guys? Roberto here. Today I'm going to get a little bit sciencey on you. Now, this would be a fairly lengthy IST health tip of the day. If you don't like a lot of science stuff, it's probably not the one for you. But you're going to learn a lot. And here's what you're going to learn. You're going to learn parasympathetic versus sympathetic. Rest and digest or fight and flight. Now, why are these important? Because they're part of the nervous system, and also knowing your type, which is related to your metabolic type, you're going to know the type of foods that you best respond to in terms of your eating habits and the type of exercise and activity plans that you should be doing in your lifestyle. Now, let's talk about the sympathetic fight and flight side first. It's located in the thoracic lumbar area of your spine. It speeds up reaction time. That's important in life-threatening scenarios. It also will dilate your lungs, your bronchial tubes, which is important because for breathing aspects. It will contract muscles, constrict muscles, which is important too because you want strong, active muscles to respond, especially those fast twitch muscles. Pupils will dilate. Stomach secretions will diminish. In other words, your digestibility is going to really drop during this particular time, during a fight or flight mode. This also releases adrenaline. As we know, that's also fight or flight related. It's a hormone. Now, converts glycogen to glucose for energy. That's crucial because if you're not doing that, that glycogen will convert to glucose, and too much glucose in your system will convert to, you got it, body fat and excess body fat. It is epinephrine and norepinephrine driven. Now, that means that they are both neurotransmitter and hormone related in terms of fight or flight. Now, the sympathetic side responds best by less purine meats. Less purine means less dense, such as fish, chicken, turkey. Those types of meats are best for you. Now, here's another one. Responds best by lower types of fats. Now, the foods I just mentioned to you, by the way, have a little bit less fat versus heavy beef and pork. Another one, you're going to respond better to consuming more quality carbohydrates. Okay? Here's another one. You're going to respond best by intensive types of exercises like heavy strength training or body weight training, taking yourself to where your muscles are really burning, jumping type of drills, sprint type of drills, not distance, sprinting, power, explosive types of drills, and striking drills such as boxing or kick fighting or grappling. Your body's going to respond best, or I should say your sympathetic side is going to respond best to those types of drills. Now, let's go to the parasympathetic side, which is more rest and digest. The two have to balance each other here. That's more rest and digest, as I just talked about. Now, that area is located more in the sacral spine and the cranial spine, meaning up here and down low in the lower back, your neck regions and your lower back. So make sure you train those areas. This area, parasympathetic, will help you decrease the heart rate. I'll jump right back to sympathetic real quick. That will help to elevate the heart rate and blood pressure, by the way. Bronchial tubes in this side of the equation, the parasympathetic, will constrict. Muscles are going to relax during this. Pupils are going to constrict. Stomach secretions will elevate during parasympathetic. Remember, it's called rest and digest. When stomach secretions increase, digestibility is significantly improved. Also, you're making HCl, which is stomach acid, to help you break down foods in the gut. It's more acetylcholine driven. Acetylcholine is what coats the, it doesn't coat, but it's part of the neurotransmission aspect of sending messages from the muscles to the brain and the brain back to the muscles. Now, in terms of eating habits, parasympathetic people respond better to high amounts of protein and fats, in particular animal protein and fats. Less amount of carbohydrates. They don't respond as well. They respond best by less intensive exercises such as cardio, aerobic, yoga, Pilates. So if you're more of a parasympathetic type of person or want those types of results, you got to do more things like Tai Chi, more relaxed type of movements. So those are parasympathetic versus sympathetic. A few more things I want to mention before I close out today. Other factors that can determine your metabolic type. And by the way, parasympathetic versus sympathetic, that's part of your metabolic type, which will determine the type of foods and or exercises and activities that you should be including. But here's some other variables here. Your physical appearance, that is manageable and changeable. Your anatomical structure and appearance, that is not changeable. That's what your parents gave you. Your psychological traits, that is certainly changeable. Your personality trait, somewhat changeable. How about food reactions? That can be managed, but you got to know what those reactions are. Because certain foods, whether they're healthy foods or not, can give you a very bad allergic reactive type of response. You don't want that because that's going to be more pro-inflammatory. That can inhibit your ability to digest foods. That can inhibit your ability to lose body fat. That can inhibit your ability to put muscle on. That can inhibit your ability in terms of cognition. All of these things I just talked about here. So those have to be balanced. So today's topic was pretty much how your body is going to respond to different types of scenarios via parasympathetic versus sympathetic. And we all have these. Now, let me just say this. Everybody has qualities in both areas. You're just going to have more dominance in one area versus the other. How do you know? There is a test called the metabolic typing test. I've talked about this probably 1,000 times in the last couple of years. I offer that type of an evaluation. So if you want to know more information on that, contact me. Now, in the references here, there's a site that talks about metabolic typing. And they do offer an online test, but I can just tell you that test is not nearly as comprehensive as the one that I can offer you because I, being a practitioner, the type of evaluation that I can give to you is much more comprehensive than the one on the website that is free of charge. If you want to do that, that's fine, but it's not going to give you as much comprehensive information. So, know your metabolic type because that will determine what type of neurotransmission you have, what type of digestibility you have, your ability to lose weight, put on muscle, lose body fat, the list goes on. So guys, give me a call, contact me. I'm on all of the social media sites. Subscribe, Facebook, Rumble, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn. I'm on all that stuff. So contact me. I'll be more than happy to work with you. This has been another IST Health Tip of the Day. Take care and God bless. Bye-bye.